Everyone mentioned today is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything I discuss here is theory until proven fact, even if it is.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna sing my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? I'm having a bit of technical difficulties today. I tried to get on the stream that I'd scheduled, but it wouldn't work. Don't know what's going on there. How you going, Carl? Hopefully everyone else jumps over. Oh no. Oh my goodness, what a morning. Okay. Hopefully they all jump over. I've just deleted the other stream. So hopefully everyone realises that I'm still live. I'm just on a different stream. Holy cow. I need a tech person. Oh, no. Okay, well, let's get into it. James Woods said, isn't she in jail yet? New York AG James, I'm suing to block the Trump administration's new rule that allows the USPS to intercept and reject lawful ballots, threatening millions of Americans' right to vote. With the midterms less than 3 months away, this will create confusion and unacceptable risk for voters. No, it's an unacceptable risk for the Democrats. That's what it is. Anyway, James Woods asked, isn't she in jail yet? You're so lonely there, Carl. I'm so sorry. I just could not get into the other stream. So, yeah, and it's made the stream the same title for some reason. I think it's a problem with Streamlabs. I don't know if it's Streamlabs or YouTube, one of them. Anyway, Letitia James, fraud charges filed against Letitia James for the same thing she charged against Trump. Sue Knows Best said, once again, Democrats prove they always do what they accuse others of. Letitia James should be behind bars. So there you go. Letitia James, she's trying to stop Trump. Oh, your wit. I'm so sorry, Shannon. I had very bad technical difficulties this morning. It should be deleted, Carl, the other stream. I'm hoping people realise and come over to this one. Yeah, the other one wasn't working. I don't know why. I don't know if it's YouTube or Streamlabs. One of them, something wasn't working. Okay, Magastorm47 said, wow, Trump is not playing games. Trump says he believes Russia and the people of Ukraine are willing to make a deal, but that Zelensky is not. Trump warned Zelensky that he won't be around very long if he's not willing to make a peace deal. Scorched earth on Zelensky. Oh, how you going, Shannon, Carl, Kel, Renee? Oh, no, I don't know what's going on. There's something just not going right this morning. I don't know if it's YouTube. I don't know if it's Streamlabs. Something's gone askew, haywire. Renee, I think that's how, I don't know. Breaking news that's shaking the world. Vladimir Putin has just declared the war in Ukraine is about to end, following the resounding success of President Trump, who achieved a massive prisoner exchange and a temporary ceasefire. Putin stated clearly, I believe the conflict in Ukraine is heading towards a conclusion. Trump has already announced he will resume definitive talks to end the war as soon as the agreement with Iran is finalised. How you going, George? Good to see ya. Good to see all you guys. Eric Doherty said, holy crap, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is reportedly gearing up to revoke the tax-exempt status of non-profits, including George Soros Open Society Foundation, CAIR, Council on American Islamic Relations, and the SPLC, NYP. The operation might result in civil penalties too. How you going out to lunch? Make it happen, Secretary Bessent. The move could target multiple leftist non-profits because they abuse their tax-exempt status. This is massively overdue. This was made possible by a Trump executive order from last year, Bessent recently said. Treasury is expanding its efforts to identify organisations that abuse charitable and non-profit structures as vehicles for illicit finance. We are claiming where tax-exempt status has been exploited, where charitable entities have become financial conduits for foreign influence activity, and how those entrusted with stewardship of these organisations have instead enabled violence. Where the evidence leads, we will not hesitate to follow, and of course, we will hold these organisations, officers, directors, accountable, and just as a financial institution must know their clients, they must know their grantees. That work is well underway anyway. You came from the other and it said for waiting. It shouldn't even be there. I swear to God I deleted it. Where is it? Hang on a sec, guys. Just let me see. I'm having technical difficulties this morning. How you going, Jennifer? Yeah, the other one's gone. I did. This one's live. It's telling me this one's live. I've got the same chat that I've got. Jeez. Sorry, guys. Yep, I've got the same chat now, so there we go. I don't know. I'm so sorry, guys. Anyway, so they're looking at all of the leftist non-profits now. It's been removed, yes. I did remove it. Hey, Jake, how you going? Okay, Gunther Eagleman said, just in, Trump's team is closing on a Venezuelan oil deal that would more than double US reserves. Not a press conference, not a speech, an ownership stake in fields holding 90 billion barrels. Those fields used to sit under China and the old Caracas insiders. Rubio and Miller are taking them off the board. American companies develop it. America gets the reserves. Venezuela gets the revenue instead of Beijing. This is the Monroe Doctrine with a drill bit. Go, guys. Drill, baby, drill. Okay, war correspondent said, what the you know what, that word is. It's been exposed that the US Strategic Petroleum Reserve has been destroyed by the Biden admin, with one site left inoperable, forcing President Trump to clean up the mess and surge investments to fix everything. The previous administration also left one of the 4 sites inoperable. This forced the Trump administration to invest more money to move equipment that blocked access to that site. They purchased equipment and left it on the surface and did not install it. Some of that equipment, due to the weather it was exposed to, is no longer useful. So we've completely wasted taxpayers' dollars on that equipment that the last administration sat on surface and didn't install. They also failed to mention some of the sites. The Biden admin drained it of 180 million barrels before the midterm elections in 2022 and never fully refilled it. Trump is cleaning up the mess years after Democrats made it. Okay. Eric Doherty said, holy crap, the Trump DOJ is now making election fraud arrests in Gavin Newsom's California after this Honduran non-citizen registered to vote. Deport them all and secure our elections. Asaili, Darwin Jonathan Rivera Flores, 30 of, Winnetka, is charged with 2 felonies and faces deportation if convicted. Sorry if I butchered that. Because states like California allow non-citizens to easily register to vote and receive a ballot by mail, there's no telling how many non-citizens are currently registered. Time to turn the voter rolls to the DOJ, Newsom. No more hiding the fraud. Yeah, I have a feeling the whole thing's just going to be blown right open soon. Hey, going, Zal? Did I say hello out to lunch and Renee? I think I did. Okay, Eric Doherty again. Breaking. Secretary Marco Rubio has just revoked the visa of an Iraqi national on FBI's terror watch list who was given the International Woman of Courage Award by the Biden admin. She's an Iraqi national on the FBI's terrorist watch list and was given a Courage Award by the Biden admin. Based Marco. Taif Sami Mohammed al-Shakarachi is an Iraqi national and was given a Gender Equity Award despite fomenting terror against Americans. Unfreaking real this was ever a thing. State Department. This Iraqi's national visa has now been revoked by the State Department following her placement on the Federal Bureau of Investigation's terror watch list. She is no longer present in the United States, thank God for that. Under President Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, suspected terrorists will never be allowed to remain in the United States. Marco is restoring sanity. I wish we had some sanity here in Australia. We've got terrorists all over the place. They won't send them back either. They charge them with something and let them straight out of prison saying, oh, would it be worse to put them back to their own countries? You know, they're facing terrible times over there. Oh, well, they're just bringing their terrible times over here. Hey, going, Eric? Good to see you. Joe Lang said the timing of this couldn't be more clear, Trump's recent executive order. The order declares a national emergency under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act and the National Emergencies Act with respect to the unusual and extraordinary foreign threat to the United States involving bulk power systems produced abroad that may present national security vulnerabilities. Follow the timeline. Carney refuses to make a trade deal with Trump at the last minute. Trump then raises a bunch of tariffs on Canada up to 50%. Several officials in Canada threaten retaliation. Some threaten cutting off electricity in the northeast of the US, which gets some electricity from Canada. This immediately triggers this executive order to secure our electrical grid from foreign influence and control permanently. It's now a national security issue and Trump will end Canada's control over any part of our electrical grid. Trump called their bluff. Thank you for playing. Rapid Response 47 said fact sheet. President Donald Trump declares a national emergency to secure America's bulk power system. The White House, okay? Yeah, it's looking pretty interesting. Okay, that was the one I just read. Clandestine said most people will brush this off as Trump being petty, but Trump is dead serious about the Monroe Doctrine and about absorbing Canada and Greenland for national security purposes. This isn't just a name change, it's psychological normalisation for the masses to prepare them for what's coming in the future. We're eventually going to claim Canada. This plays into my overall thesis that Trump's goal is to turn the US into a fully self-sustaining empire, so our national security is never dependent on other nations. The White House said effective immediately, Lake Ontario is renamed to Lake America. Oh, my goodness. Hey, I'm here in Australia. They can name any of Australia's rivers anything they want. Just come and help. Oh, my goodness. How you going, Brett? Good to see you. J1. I think I've said hello to everyone. War correspondent said breaking the DOJ has just launched a criminal investigation into E. Jean Carroll for perjury in her deranged lawsuits against Donald Trump. Holy F around and find out. AG Todd Blanche has recused himself from this case. They can't cry weaponisation. You can tell CNN is devastated. Our sources tell us that this investigation is focused on a 2022 deposition that Carroll gave where she said that she had not received any outside funding. Now, her lawyers later told the judge that she had in fact received funding for legal fees and expenses from billionaire Reid Hoffman. The judge overseeing this case ultimately said there were no issues with her credibility and blocked Trump lawyers from asking about this at trial. Well, here we go again. I hope it gets turned, honestly. How you going, menacing? War correspondent said, holy crap, in a massive scandal, the Federal Reserve has quietly admitted that Biden's illegal alien invasion surged home prices by plus 30%, directly harming US citizens' affordability. Now, what do you think it's doing in the UK and Australia? We got house prices off the charts over here. And you know why? Yeah. Illegal immigrants. This comes as President Trump has blocked taxpayer mortgages and housing assistance to illegals, the betrayal of our lifetimes. Plus 30% in home prices? The media should be talking about this 24/7. They don't. They won't. Federal Reserve working paper suggests Biden illegal immigrant wave drove up home prices by at least 30% anyway. Trust in Trump 47 said, attention, Marco Rubio's State Department just crushed the fee to renounce US citizenship from $2,350 to only $450, an 80% reduction in one fell swoop. Translation, the United States no longer wants to retain those who hate being here. If you can't stand American laws, values, or sovereignty, now it's cheaper and easier than ever to leave for good and renounce your citizenship. It's only $450 and goodbye citizenships. Please do it now. And Rubio doesn't mince words. I've said it 1,000 times and some still don't get it. No one's entitled to a visa. It's a privilege, not a gift. If you come in as a visitor and do things contrary to the national interest, we'll take away your visa on the spot. That is common sense, and that is how it should be. Q Shadow Walker said right now in the Oval Office, Trump he didn't exactly explode and he didn't bang the table with his fist. He might have had his fist against the table, but he didn't bang it on the table. Voice booming like thunder. I think this person's just tried to clickbait me. They're invading us in Europe. It's a complete, total, merciless invasion, and the United Kingdom is suspect number one. He didn't stop at the rage. He dropped the bomb no one expected. I'm going to launch the Western Survival Pact. Whoever signs slams borders shut to ports en masse and defends their culture to the death. Whoever doesn't sign stands alone against the wave. And the first one who has to sign is the United Kingdom or it sinks. Deathly silence, no one breathed. Western civilization just received its ultimatum. Now, do you want to hear what Trump's actually said and how he said it? Let's have a listen.
Did you discuss it with him?
I did, briefly. He's going to have to mention it because it's killing your country.
Mr. President,
Killing you.
he won't talk to GBUs.
He's killing your country.
He won't talk to them.
And not him. I mean, we'll have to see. I know Starmer did very little about it. And they're coming from all over the world. They're coming from Africa. They're coming from South America. They're coming from different parts of Asia. And they're invading Europe. I mean, they're invading Europe. It's an invasion. And the UK is a prime suspect.
Mr. President, on
top blanche, Senator John Cornyn of Texas.
Oh, there you go. He didn't slam the table. He didn't do any of that, but he did say, and I'm not even sure. I'd look into this actually. I'm going to have to. The Western Survival Pact. Hopefully that's true. I hope it is. Okay, but I'm not 100% sure. Miller Joy said they're changing the name of Canadian geese to Donald Ducks. Oh, my goodness. How you going, Keith? Good to see ya. They're changing the name of Canadian geese to Donald Ducks. Oh, no one knows how to troll like Donald Trump. It's masterful. Oh, my goodness. Sorry, guys. I forgot I put that in there, so it was funny. Oh, he's a good troll. He really is. What did he actually say? Hang on a sec.
And finally, sir, in this executive order, we're also changing the name of the Canada geese as per your request. They will now be known throughout the world as Donald Ducks, which is a more suited name, given that they now live in Lake America and not Canada with the rest of those losers. Donald Ducks are now an American species, and they're already happily migrating to our shores as we speak. And finally, sir, in this executive...
Oh, sorry, guys. Okay, Canadian geese are now known as Donald Ducks. Oh, I can't see through my own tears. Hang on, I've got to read. Oh, okay. Get it together, Hev. Come on. Eric Doherty said, breaking in a massive move against the meatpacking monopoly, President Trump is hereby authorising farmers and ranchers to directly process their own food. Trump is declaring war on artificially high meat prices. For years, I've heard they had a tremendous problem with the big processors. I'm going to laugh again. No, don't laugh. This is serious. Okay, Trump is declaring war on artificially high meat prices. I can't get over the Donald Ducks. Okay, for years I've heard that they had a tremendous problem with the big processors, who many say are a nasty monopoly. Well, they are. It's the same here in Australia. There are essentially 4 of them, very non-competitive number, and they make life miserable for our wonderful farmers and ranchers. And I can't let that happen, can I? So in order to break this powerful monopoly, with much of its ownership based outside of the US, I'm authorising legal documents to be drawn in order to allow farmers and ranchers to be given the right to process their own food. This should move quickly. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. He said, ranchers and farmers have always been a number one priority for me. They work very hard, are smart, efficient, and immaculately clean. But for years I've heard they've had a tremendous problem with the big processors, who many say are a nasty monopoly. There are essentially 4 of them. Yep, and then the rest of it I have read. Well done, Trump. Okay, Trust in Trump 47 said, reporter, why would more US troops be sent to the region if ground troops are not being considered for deployment in Iran? Secretary of War Pete Hegseth said, look, son, this is such a basic military lesson that even a reporter should understand it. Never reveal to your enemy what you're going to do or what you're not going to do, and certainly don't tell them when you plan to surrender. Especially to a coward who hides in bunkers, hoards his missiles like a miser, and prays that the United States will get tired and go home. But let me give you some free advice. The next time you want to ask a question, try not to sound like you're lobbying for the Iranian regime. It gives a very bad image. How you going, Sherry? Melanie in Saskatchewan said, I'm supposed to perform the obligatory little ritual now and pretend both versions of this trade debacle deserve equal credibility. I don't. I believe the Americans. Not because they're American, not because politicians suddenly became trustworthy, and certainly not because Donald Trump has been canonised. I believe them because the American account increasingly makes more sense. Greer, Lutnick and Besant have spoken openly and specifically about what happened. Their accounts have been remarkably consistent. They can discuss the negotiations like people who are actually involved in them without appearing terrified that an unsupervised adjective might escape and without a teleprompter. Meanwhile, what do Canadians get from our own government? Carefully sterilised language, vague explanations, missing specifics, scripted talking points, every sentence apparently passed through enough communications peoples and lawyers to remove any detectable trace of information. Hey Gen X, how you doing? We're being kept in the dark like bloody mushrooms while learning more about Canada's own trade negotiations from American officials and American media than from the Canadian government supposedly representing us. And somehow we're not supposed to notice how politically convenient the Canadian version is. We got Trump was unreasonable. Trump changed the deal. Trump threatened our sovereignty. Trump forced Canada to walk away. Trump, Trump, Trump. Just keep Canadians sufficiently pissed off at Donald Trump and perhaps nobody asks a considerably more inconvenient question. What exactly did Mark Carney walk away from and why? Because after the Geordie Howe Bridge fiasco, I'm fresh out of complimentary benefit of the doubt. And here's the part that absolutely reeks, discrediting any appearance of truth told by the liar-in-chief Mark Carney. If Carney possesses documentary evidence proving Trump suddenly dumped outrageous, unacceptable demands onto Canada at the 11th hour, where the hell is it? Seriously, think about what that evidence would be worth politically. If Carney had a piece of paper proving Donald Trump screwed Canada, blindsided our negotiators and forced our heroic Prime Minister to stand up, pound the table and walk away, the Liberal machine wouldn't quietly tuck that document into a filing cabinet. Are you kidding me? They'd wallpaper Ottawa with the damn thing. They'd hold press conferences about it. They'd wave it around in Parliament. They'd quote it in fundraising emails and they'd buy ads with it. Every friendly pundit in the country would have a laminated copy by breakfast. CBC would probably commission a 12-part documentary and an interpretive dance. Sounds like Australia. It would be political rocket fuel. Carney could point directly at the evidence and say, see, I stood up to Trump. And considering how desperately this government wants Canadians angry at Trump, they would squeeze every last political drop out of it. Instead, we get words. Trust us. Trump did it. Don't worry about the details. Just keep your elbows up and direct your anger towards the orange man south of the border. How extraordinarily convenient. And while Canada spends years shrieking about foreign interference, demanding security clearance for opposition leaders and warning us about other countries trying to influence Canadian politics, Canadian politicians seem remarkably comfortable inserting themselves into American partisan politics. Apparently foreign political influence is a mortal threat to democracy when it crosses the border heading north. But heading south? Nothing to see here. Carry on. So enough of the carefully packaged Liberal bullshit. Release the negotiating documents, show Canadians the American demands, show us Canada's demands, show us what changed, show us when it changed, show us exactly what was sitting on that table when Canada walked away. Because if those documents prove Carney's story, his government has every political incentive imaginable to release them. And it's quite odd that they haven't. Their continued absence doesn't prove he's lying, but it sure does suggest it. And considering the Americans are providing details while our own government feeds us verbal oatmeal, it sure as hell gives Canadians a reason to stop swallowing everything we're spoon-fed. Mark Carney isn't an oracle, he isn't our father, and Canadians aren't intellectually deficient children who need the PMO to decide which facts we're mature enough to see. Stop telling us whom to hate. Show us what happened. Then we'll decide for ourselves who's full of shit. Okay, that was really well said. Really well said. If it was true that Carney walked away because Trump laid more on the table at the last minute, show people. They can't because it didn't happen. Now, okay, if you believe this, I've got a bridge to sell you. Now, listen carefully to the words, okay? Razorback said Australia to withdraw staff from Macquarie Island due to psychological risk of bird flu. They're telling you. It's psychological. Psychological risk. Australian scientists to abandon remote island because of a psychological risk of bird flu. In other words, it's all psychological. It's in your head. It's in their head, sorry, not in our head. I don't believe it for a second. Seriously, if anyone's believing the bird flu right now, I've got a bridge to sell you, I'm telling you. Okay? Psychological risk of bird flu. Come on. Australia, wake up. Okay, this this has been all over my feed everywhere. Lindsay Clancy on YouTube, on Twitter, everywhere, okay? I think people have forgotten why Lindsay Clancy's on trial and what she admitted doing to her 3 small children. I might do that tomorrow, actually, this one. I might put this one in tomorrow's one, but she says that very, very well. Okay? Okay. Lozzie B said pedos advising the Labor Party. Former New South Wales Labor Party advisor and political insider Craig Munnings has been charged with 14 child sex offences at Gosford District Court on August the 7th, 2026. A court placed a non-publication suppression order over his name. His identity was shielded from the public for 7 years. His prosecution faced immense delays, with his trial being pushed back or aborted 9 separate times. 9 times. Where's that clip from Ferris Bueller's Day Off When You Need It? 9 times. Munnings remained free in the community on bail with his identity hidden from the public. He continued running his consultancy business and his company remained active on the New South Wales Parliament Lobbyist Register. Munnings had a 12-year political career in New South Wales Parliament. He serves as Senior Departmental Liaison and Advisor to prominent New South Wales Labor, doesn't matter, they're both the same, but no, it's Labor ministers. The child sex monster hidden in plain sight in the halls of power for 7 years. How a court blunder concealed a senior Labor insider. So Labor aren't adverse to pedophiles, apparently. They're fine with them. I mean, you know, we've seen the photo of Anthony Albanese with that other guy in a previous video. Joe Lang said timing is everything. Remember what happened yesterday? AG Blanchard announced they'd seized the servers and domains of a major Chinese hacker group that was infecting major infrastructure involving national security. Then DHS announces this today. The Homeland Security Department will require random audits of paper ballots in the midterm elections, citing long-simmering concern that the nation's largest voting technology companies use Chinese parts in their voting machines. According to a letter from Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen released Thursday. Mullen sent the letter to the White House Transparency Task Force earlier this week, outlining the dangers posed by Chinese components in American voting machines and the way that these components could be exploited by hackers or other malicious actors. Chinese components in voting machines can be exploited by Chinese hackers. Are you seeing the table being set? The evidence is being declassified and laid out before the American people, proving that our entire election system is already compromised. It's a national security issue and Trump is already making the case to the American people, leading right up to the moment where they prove the 2020 election was stolen and Trump declares a national emergency. A declaration that will require all the safeguards for our elections that Trump has been talking about since his first term. The groundwork's being laid and the people prepared for what's coming. Everything will change. A stolen election will lead to the prosecution phase as those responsible are held accountable. And there is a possibility that the midterms don't happen as scheduled. There's also a possibility that the military helps oversee the election in order to make sure all the new safeguards are implemented. The case against the fraudulent election system is building on a daily basis now. Overwhelming evidence that will get the backing of the Supreme Court majority when Trump declares a national emergency. The president has plenary authority over national security. He will use that constitutional authority to take control of the election system and protect the constitutional right of the American citizens to vote for their representatives. We will not certify another unconstitutional election. Just the News said breaking Homeland Security warns of Chinese part in election machines will require paper ballot audits. Oh, way to go. Oh, and I need to move to America. Okay. No, I need to stay here and fight. I don't know, I'm torn. AKA said that apparently parents want all classrooms recorded now so they can see what the kids are learning. Look, I'm not against this. I'm actually for this. All classrooms should be recorded so you can see what the children are learning. Clown World said New York is hitting Amish families with more than $118,000 in fine over vaccine requirements, and a federal appeals court just sided with the state again. These Amish families living in their own communities, following religious beliefs and traditions they've practiced for generations. They're not asking the government for anything, they just want to be left alone. What makes this even crazier is that the 2019 measles outbreak that helped push New York to eliminate its religious exemption wasn't even connected to these Amish communities. Now these families are facing six-figure fines for refusing to go against their religious beliefs. If religious freedom doesn't protect you when your beliefs conflict with the government, what exactly does it protect? Well, I believe Trump's just signed an order. I don't know if it would include this. But hey, if they need to, they should start a GoFundMe, or what's the other one? Give, Send, Go. And everyone should donate to them. Okay, the opinionated black woman auntie said this dog should be given a 3-course Wagyu meal. Your dog didn't leave you alone, said Momentous Viralis. An elderly adult was assaulted in a public street, and upon opening the door of his vehicle, his dog quickly came out in his defence. Okay, this is why you should have a dog, right? Now I'm just going to mute the sound because I'm going to talk through this. They are actually, I'll show you a bit. Okay, they're really trying to attack him, right? He lets his dog out. Dog gets the guy who was trying to attack him. He's an old fella too. The dog's helping him. Now he's trying to get the dog. I think he's trying to get the dog off. He was trying to hit the bloke too. There's some wild swings going on. You can't see. It's all been blurred out and that, for YouTube. So, but yeah, the dog got into it too and possibly saved this man. Good dog. Oh, that doggy deserves a 3-course meal, mate. Oh, good boy. Such a good doggy. I've got to get a dog. But I don't think they want me to get a dog here, so I'd have to move out to get a dog. But I really want a dog. Anyway, especially for Muslims too, you might want to get a dog. Seriously, anyone who can. Cornelius, okay, I've got to sing this one. Are you ready? Are you ready for my bad singing? Okay. Hold on to your windows, they might crack. Someone has rewritten the Australian national anthem, okay? And I'm going to sing it. I'm going to try, okay? Holy shit. Australians, we cannot rejoice, for we're no longer free. We've sold our soil and wealth and oil. Our home is a crime spree. Our land abounds in welfare gifts to migrants from elsewhere. In history's page we are enraged. Advance Australia where? In painful strains then let us sing. Advance Australia where? Beneath our radiant Southern Cross we'll toil with hearts and hands to make this government of ours stop bowing to demands. For those who've come across the sea, we boundless plains to share. But we expect some due respect to advance Australia fair. In painful strains then let us sing, Advance Australia where? Exactly where? I want to know. Sorry about that. I've probably broken every window. in your house. But that is so true. Someone rewrote the Australian anthem and, Advance Australia Fair it's supposed to be, okay? But Advance Australia, where exactly are we going? Dr. Russ McGregor said, finally, we're getting some serious exposure of the deep state Red Cross. Excellent. Inevitable West said, breaking. Suta locals are now tracking down and blocking vehicles belonging to the Red Cross NGO in order to halt their operations across the enclave. This is unprecedented. They're warning the Red Cross to leave immediately. An uprising has begun in Suta. Way to go. Yes, the Red Cross are not good people, unfortunately, but they're not. The Red Cross raised, I don't know, millions and maybe billions of dollars for the Australian wildfires in 2020. They kept most of it, saying it was going to the next national emergency. Okay, the people who donated had all their money taken. Hey, Ian, how you doing? Good to see you. So, I don't trust the Red Cross, okay? They are not what they say they are. They are another NGO. Okay? Gunther Eagleman said this should enrage the world. Christians are being killed for their faith in Nigeria while much of the world barely notices. Churches attacked, families terrorised, believers kidnapped and murdered, people paying the ultimate price because they refuse to abandon Jesus Christ. Imagine the global outrage if this were happening to almost any other religious group. Their lives matter, their faith matters, their suffering matters. Stop looking away. Pray for Nigeria. Stand with persecuted Christians. Those poor people. Good on them for not denying Christ. I feel so sorry for them, though. So, get the word out. Apparently Christians are being, churches are being attacked, families terrorised, and believers are being kidnapped and murdered for believing in God, Jesus. Pauline Hanson said Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has had another shocker at the Bush Summit after he was chased out of town by tractors at the last one. The Prime Minister is the one forcing industrial wind and solar onto these communities, our farms, so he was laughed at when claiming to get why local landowners are devastated. After saddling businesses with red tape, green tape, blue tape and black tape, he claimed to be worried about over-regulation. Give me a break, another Labor lie. Why can't the Prime Minister just be honest? He does not have an honest bone in his body, I'm sorry, but listen to this.
She was telling it that her property will be sandwiched on three sides by a solar farm where the panels are 5 metres high. They're foreign-owned projects here. They're built mostly by foreign workers. They're a work camp, she says, so that people aren't even coming into town to spend money. What message do you have for people here whose lives and livelihoods are being upended and they can't understand why?
That I get it. We need to do better than that.
I spoke to the managing director of NEFFEX in South Australia. It's an iconic brand, Ben Nitzville. He said every day you come to work there's more costs, more regulation. You lie awake at night wondering what rule it is that you don't know about that's going to trip you up tomorrow. Does it bother you that in regional communities farmers see the Albanese government as the enemy?
Oh, well, what worries me is over-regulation. I wouldn't care. And we need to do something about it.
She was telling it that her property will be sandwiched on three sides.
Now, I don't think this is AI. I think it's actually real. But it was the Bush Summit, National Bush Summit, okay? He's a fool. And I'd be laughing at him too if I was sitting in front of him and he was saying that shit. Well, then why are you doing this to us, you fool? Unless you're not actually running things and someone else is. Penny Wong. El Donaldo Trumpo said the world is healing. Here come the Donald Ducks in Lake America. Oh, my goodness. This is getting funnier and funnier. I love the haircut. The Donald Trump haircut. The world is healing. Obviously, it's made with AI, you know. Okay. Rosita Diaz said man who bashed triple amputee with his own crutch wins a visa appeal over stress. Paul Garvey. A South Sudanese man who viciously bashed a triple amputee with the victim's crutch has become the latest person to use visa stress to quash the denial of their protection visa. The man, who can be identified only as GNHW, successfully argued in the federal court that being placed on a more restrictive bridging visa would likely make him more of a risk to the Australian community than if he was handed a protection visa similar to the humanitarian visa he lost after his brutal assault on a vulnerable disabled man. His case echoes that successfully put forward earlier this month by a Sierra Leone man who had his visa cancelled following a sexual assault of a teenage boy, and points to another loophole facing Immigration Minister Tony Burke. Look, this is why I get peed off with that Lindsay Clancy bullshit. Are we going to just keep, because of stress or mental illness, we're just going to forgive everyone for murder? Are we just going to let all the murderers out saying that they were under mental duress, or they were stressed, or they had a mental disorder? Oh my God, this is why it pisses me off. I'm sorry, but it does. The case points to another loophole facing Immigration Minister Tony Burke, who can't do anything because he is not... he's fucking hopeless. Sorry. He really is. I'm not going to get this one monetised, am I? No, that's cool. I don't care. Okay, so, yeah, this man is incompetent. That's the word I was looking for. Effing incompetent. Ryan Dowley here in Australia again, breaking a newly arrived Afghanistan national who is homeless was arrested by police in Melbourne for randomly attacking and viciously stabbing two women in an unprovoked street attack. Raz Alizada, 27, was charged after allegedly stabbing two women in separate unprovoked street attacks in Frankston, Victoria. Last week, around 1:15 p.m, he allegedly crept up behind and stabbed a 53-year-old woman in the neck from behind on Young Street. She received stitches and treatment at Frankston Hospital for life-threatening injuries. The very next morning, how was he let out? How was he even out? The very next morning, around 7:45 a.m, he allegedly ran up behind a 29-year-old woman leaving a gym on Plains Street, stabbed her with a 22-centimetre kitchen knife with a large amount of force, stole a handbag and demanded her phone pin. She was also hospitalised with life-threatening injuries. He was arrested shortly after the second attack, so he wasn't arrested after the first one, on Ross Smith's Avenue East by an off-duty officer and tradesman who helped chase after him. He was charged with 2 counts of intentionally causing serious injury, armed robbery and weapons offences. He appeared in Melbourne Magistrates Courts on the 20th of August. He refused the offer of legal aid and a Farsi interpreter and asked the court to send him back to Afghanistan. Well, at least this one wants to go. He should have been sent back as soon as he got here. He was charged with 2 counts of intentionally causing serious injury, armed robbery and weapons offences. He appeared in Melbourne Magistrates Court on 20th. He refused... Oh, I did read that, sorry. Magistrate Simon Zabrowski refused bail, calling him an unacceptable risk to the public. Oh, finally, we got one. This is what open borders and failed vetting deliver. 2 women stabbed in broad daylight. He wants a free flight home after the fact. How many more before we stop importing this? Diversity is not our strength. And this one, Pepe Deluxe, praying for my friend Joe Rambo. He's in the hospital for lung issues. I've read Joe Rambo's posts so many times over the last few years. I will pray for Joe Rambo and hope he's doing well. Please, God. Please, yeah, because seriously. Yep, prayers that he will pull through this. Yep. Oh, dear. Okay, I hate hearing when patriots, get sick or pass away or, it's upsetting. The patriotic blonde said Trump just declared national emergency to secure the grid. Something big's about to go down. Fact sheet. President Donald J. Trump declares national emergency to secure America's bulk power system. Okay, that's got to do with the Canada running power to northern states, I believe. I will read it anyway. Executive order to protect the security, integrity and reliability of bulk power system electric equipment used in the United States, particularly from interference by foreign actors. Canada, we're looking at you. Sorry, no. Not the Canadian people, the Canadian government, okay? The order declares national emergency under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act and the National Emergencies Act with respect to the unusual and extraordinary foreign threat to the United States involving bulk power systems produced abroad that may present national security vulnerabilities. To deal with the threat to national security, foreign policy and economy of the United States, the order, among other things, generally prohibits certain foreign-produced bulk power system electronic equipment, including associated critical software and digital capabilities that could pose cybersecurity or operational risks, from being purchased or installed in the United States, go Trump, or appropriately condition such purchases and installations to address those risks. He's doing more than any Prime Minister or President has done over the last, I don't know, at least 50 years maybe, more. To deal with the threat to national security, foreign policy, yep, I read those ones. The order focuses on transactions involving foreign nationals that pose an undue risk of sabotage, unauthorised access or other disruption, an undue risk of catastrophic effects on the security or resilience of the US critical infrastructure, or an unacceptable risk to the security of the US. The order does not apply to facilities used for local distribution of electric energy. The order further permits the Secretary of Energy, in consultation with other members of the Cabinet, to impose conditions on the continued use and operation of such equipment as needed to address the concerns identified in the order, bearing in mind effects on reliability, safety, availability of replacements, and continuity of service. The order directs the Secretary of Energy to publish rules operationalising and implementing the order as needed. The order further directs the Secretary of Energy, in consultation with other members of the Cabinet, to identify bulk power system electric equipment that may pose risks identified in the order and prepare recommendations for the Assistant to the President for National Security Affairs to address the risks posed by that equipment. Preventing foreign actors from crippling critical infrastructure, like Mark Carney. President Trump is taking steps to eliminate supply chain vulnerabilities while ensuring abundant, reliable electricity. The rapid growth of advanced manufacturing, artificial intelligence and defence production has increased America's dependence on certain foreign components necessary for the provision of abundant, reliable electricity. Well, I can't talk today. Continued reliance on foreign sources of bulk power system electric equipment creates a supply chain vulnerability to the US. This goes beyond Canada. Current minimal restrictions on acquisitions or operation of foreign-produced bulk power system electric equipment augment the ability of some foreign entities to create and exploit vulnerabilities in such equipment. Certain foreign actors are increasingly creating and exploiting vulnerabilities in the United States bulk power system, which provides the electricity that supports our national defence, vital emergency services, critical infrastructure and the economy. Securing America's critical supply chains, President Trump has long recognised that America's national security and economic strength depend on rebuilding key sectors of our industrial base and their supply chains. In his first term, President Trump revolutionised international trade by using Section 232 to address decades of short-sighted globalist trade policies that hollowed out our domestic steel and aluminium industries, or aluminum, as you say in America. Since returning to office, President Trump has continued taking actions under Section 232 to protect and strengthen domestic manufacturing, critical to our national and economic security, including imposing and strengthening tariffs on key goods such as steel, aluminium, copper, polysilicon, trucks, automobiles, timber, lumber, semiconductors and pharmaceuticals. Go Trump. In April 2025, President Trump signed an executive order to strengthen and secure the United States electric grid. This resulted in 17,000 megawatts, enough electricity to supply power to 12.75 million homes, of perfectly good power plants from being forced offline due to weaponisation of state and federal environmental regulations, reducing costs for consumers and enhancing grid reliability. In June 2026, President Trump signed an executive order to advance American AI innovation, to strengthen America's cybersecurity, protect critical infrastructure, and ensure the United States remains the global leader in AI innovation. Otherwise, China will do it. That was me inserting that bit. In July 2026, President Trump signed an executive order to secure America's defence supply chains for the cutting-edge equipment that allows the US to dominate the modern battlefield, particularly the critical minerals and components necessary to manufacture that equipment. In August 2026, President Trump signed a proclamation to address the national security threat posed by imports of drones and their components, including by strengthening America's drone industry and supply chain. Honestly, way to go, Trump. Craig Kelly, Foundation for, economic something or other, I don't know. You can see where this is heading. They'll want to inject every wild animal in every country, every bird, every cat and dog, every camel and donkey, every feral pig, every wombat, possum and koala, and all 40 million kangaroos. The Australian said, the detection of H5 bird flu in a metropolitan red fox raises urgent concerns as cross-species contamination spill into urban areas. Fucking come on. The bird flu. So far, a whale, a seal and a fox has been tested positive. I wonder if they're using those PCR tests. I really want to know, because those things aren't meant to catch these things. How do they know if they caught them? Oh, and this is what the Daily Mail, the first Aussie family missing after deadly Nepal floods has been identified. Do they look Australian to you? I mean, they might be Australian citizens, right? They might be, right? But Aussie family. Yeah. That's what Australia's... This is Australia's normal now. That's an Australian family. We aren't anymore. No, it's these people instead. You should see the state of the place. A lot of suburbs are Indian. Not to mention the ones that are Muslim and you can't even go there, okay? We have a lot of Indian suburbs as well. Chet said, absolutely, any father would want to do the same. The father who beat a man to death for raping his 5-year-old daughter faces no charges in Texas. Do you support this? I don't think that anyone should just go out and bash people unnecessarily, but this father did beat a man for raping his 5-year-old daughter, and I can imagine anyone would back this man. I think most people with any logical thinking at all would back this man. Put it this way, what would you do if someone did that to your 5-year-old daughter? I know personally I'm a woman and I want to rip his head off, you know what I mean? Now, I don't condone violence like I said, because I'm going to get in trouble off YouTube, but you know what I mean, okay? Yeah, don't forget they tested papaya fruit and it tested positive too. So did a glass of Coca-Cola or a can of Coca-Cola. They found it in water somewhere. Can't remember where. Look, there's a lot of things that those PCR tests are not meant for this shit. And I want to know who's testing. I want to see the tests, actually. I want to see the results and how they tested these foxes and seals and whales, okay? I want to know exactly. Okay. The father gets the free turn, not the prisoners. Yeah, I agree, Leslie. How you going, Leslie? I agree. The prisoners I was talking about on a previous, I agreed with what they did because that's what happens when you go to prison if you hurt a child. You pretty much, But But those prisoners were in there for something, so they need to stay there. But I do agree. Leslie, if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, please go and watch my previous videos, all of them. No, I'm kidding. I don't know which one it was. That's why I'm telling you to go watch them all. Radically Right said, today on Earth, Chinese government-backed hackers broke into the Justice Department, NASA, the Federal Reserve. I think I read that one. Have I? At that point, they were no longer hacking America. They were taking a full federal tour. A pro-Russian group also declared cyber war on Norway and knocked government services offline because apparently everyone with a laptop now thinks he is a country. Meta agreed to pay $18 billion to settle lawsuits brought by 47 states accusing Facebook and Instagram of deliberately addicting children. $18 billion sounds enormous until you remember how much money there is in keeping an entire generation staring at a screen. President Trump declared a national emergency over foreign-made equipment inside American power grid. He also moved to bring in 300,000 metric tonnes of tariff-free beef after drought, wildfires and the smallest cattle supply in 75 years sent prices through the roof. Well, I believe it's also the processors of that meat that are sending prices through the roof as well. Along the Nepal-Tibet border, a collapsing mass of glacial ice, rock and mud swallowed villages, killed at least 160 people and left hundreds more missing. Tourist families and entire communities vanished beneath it, while rescuers struggled to reach areas cut off from the world. Then Spain launched 330,700 pounds of tomatoes at itself. Thousands of people packed the streets for, I can't pronounce this, look at your screen, okay? Bunal or for la tomatina. I have no idea. I'm sorry. I know I butchered that one. And spent the day swimming in tomato pulp because while one part of the planet was fighting cyber war, another just decided to become human spaghetti. What the hell is going on? What is this tomato shit? How you going, Timmy? Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, one part of the planet was fighting cyber war, another decided to become human spaghetti. Archaeologists in Turkey uncovered an 11,000-year-old statue of a person riding a leopard. This was thousands of years before anyone invented the wheel, meaning humanity apparently domesticated bad decisions before transportation. DNA taken from a nearly 190-year-old museum specimen confirmed that a Himalayan pangolin had been hiding in plain sight as an entirely separate species. It took science almost 2 centuries to notice, which still makes it faster than the government. A wallaby wandered through the middle of an English town. A kitten fell 10 feet down a rusty pipe in California and was pulled out alive. And on National Dog Day, the cat... Oh, what did I do there? Oh, shit. The cat still managed to get in the news. Then we lost Tim Curry at 80. He could be a wickedly funny butler, a terrifying clown, a pirate, a villain, or the most unforgettable character ever to walk onto the Rocky Horror stage. He survived a devastating stroke, kept working and spent more than half a century making strange characters feel larger than life. Dolly Parton left us on Tuesday. Tim Curry followed on Wednesday. Earth lost a little kindness one day and a little glorious weirdness the next. That was one day on Earth. See you tomorrow if China hasn't already changed the password. My God, I find it funny that a wallaby wandered through the middle of an English town. Does England have wallabies? Can someone let me know if England has wallabies? Or did someone take an Australian wallaby over to England? A wallaby is a small kangaroo, by the way. Okay, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Okay, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. posted this, okay? It's not a conspiracy theory. Plotkin on vaccines, aborted fetal tissue in vaccines. At his press conference today, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro accused me of promoting conspiracy theories because I told him during an earlier telephone conversation that some Americans had religious objections to the MMR vaccine because it contained fetal tissue. There is no fetal tissue in the MMR, he told me. This is a segment from a videotaped deposition of Stanley Plotkin, the inventor of the MMR vaccine. Plotkin admits to butchering 76 aborted, normally developing fetuses all over 3 months old, in just one of the many studies that led to the development of his vaccine. The rubella virus used in MMR2 is grown on the cultured cell line composed of lung tissue from an aborted 3-month-old female embryo and listed as WY38 human diploid lung fibroblasts. In the ingredients of MMR2, as portions of these cell ended up in each vial of MMR2. During Dr. Plotkin's deposition, attorney Aaron Seary asked, "Isn't it true that MMR2 contains approximately 150 nanograms cell substrate double-stranded DNA and single-strand DNA per dose purposefully fragmented to approximately 215 base pairs in length?" Dr. Plotkin answered, "Yeah, that's probably correct, yes." This equals approximately 646 billion pieces of human DNA from an aborted fetal cell line in each vial of MMR2. That makes me sick. In addition to the human DNA, there's also an unspecified amount of human cellular debris in each dose of MMR2. During our phone conversation, Governor Shapiro also accused me of promoting vaccine misinformation. When I asked him for an example, he was unable to provide one, but this did not deter him from publicly repeating that accusation during his press event. As I told him, HHS does not tolerate misinformation by any employee. I offered to point to hundreds of instances of vaccine misinformation by the Biden administration, about which I had never heard him complain. This is sickening. Even though most of us already knew, it's still sickening. Governor Shapiro also faulted me for the decline in Pennsylvania vaccination rates from 97% to 93.2%. When I pushed back on this assertion, he acknowledged that most of the decline occurred during the Biden admin. It's unfortunately true that the government lockdowns, deceptions, manipulation, and overreach during COVID severely damaged public faith in the vaccine program. Governor Shapiro's press conference was an example of the same species of gaslighting. The Trump administration is working to restore public trust, not by gaslighting or manipulating, but by being truthful, at last, with the public. Which is what we need. How you going, Dave? Good to see ya. Okay. Alexandra Marshall here in Australia. Not all cultures are equal. Many times a handful of poor colonists were sent out to the edges of the world, and they created free and prosperous civilizations over and over and over again from scratch. And then you can send millions of people into existing civilization and they destroy it overnight. A culture that sacrifices and works for its future descendants, that is thankful for what it has and strives for what could be, those are the cultures that built empires. The narcissistic, greedy, take entitlement of thieves and criminals ruins everything that others built. Yep. Jim Ferguson said the government is now telling British families to prepare. This is perhaps the most important part of my investigation. The government isn't only preparing ministers, it isn't only preparing the military, it isn't only preparing civil servants, it is increasingly encouraging ordinary British households to prepare as well. Food, water, medication, torches and batteries, emergency communications, first aid, a household emergency plan, and now the mainstream press is reporting on the National Resilience Campaign that I documented in my investigation. This isn't about panic buying. In fact, the government's own advice says, don't buy everything at once, prepare gradually, prepare responsibly. Wow. Don't be scared, be prepared. And Jim Ferguson also asked, what is the British government preparing for? Then the war books are being rewritten, the National Risk Register has been expanded, Britain is preparing the largest UK home defence exercise in decades, government departments are planning for hybrid attacks, cyber disruption and threats to critical infrastructure. And now ordinary households are being encouraged to prepare for emergencies themselves. Why now? I spent days examining the government's own documents. What they reveal is not evidence that an attack on Britain is imminent, but neither should what is happening be dismissed. Britain is preparing for a world in which war, cyber attack, energy disruption, supply chain failure, and threats to critical infrastructure can increasingly intersect. And there is already evidence of the threat moving beyond planning exercises. A cyber attack recently knocked a small British electricity generator offline for several days. The wider grid was never at risk. But the incident demonstrated that attacks on Britain's critical infrastructure are no longer merely hypothetical. So I went through Exercise Alberston Shadow, Britain's classified war books, the National Risk Register 2026, the government's Resilience Action Plan, and its advice to British households. In this PTC, I show you what the documents actually say and separate what we know from what people are merely speculating. Watch the investigation, then read the full X article attached below and examine the evidence yourself. The conclusion isn't that we should panic, it's that we should pay attention. Because governments prepare before emergencies happen. Families should think the same way. There you go. Very interesting, isn't it? And does this have anything to do with Trump saying you better sign that Protect the West thing or you'll be left on your own? Is that why they're preparing? Because they are not going to sign it and they're going to be left on their own? Angela Belcamino said Dolly Parton dead at 80, Tim Curry dead at 80, question mark, question mark, question mark. They say death comes in threes. So Grok, using your most advanced reasoning, give me a top 10 list of celebrities who are currently 80 and might be next. Death comes in threes is folklore, not science. No one can predict who's next. Celebrities currently aged 80 include Cher, Sylvester Stallone, Lisa Minnelli, Danny Glover, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Donald Trump, Linda Ronstadt, Brian Cox, and Timothy Dalton. Okay. I don't know why they're asking Grok. Seriously. But I read it, so there you go. Awakened Outlaw said, to this day, no one can explain what the F actually happened here. Only valid takeaway is that it was intentional. So the question remains, who could have pulled this off and why was it done in the first place? Mr. Truth Bomb, this was very interesting. I hadn't seen this one before, from 2025. Do you remember when Obama turned into a hot dog after Biden's weird inauguration at 1 hour and 17 minutes of the video? Okay, let's have a look. Let's play that again. How did he turn it?
It's exciting time. We've got to not just listen to folks we agree with, but listen to folks we don't. And one of my fondest memories of the inauguration was the grace and generosity that...
A hot dog. Okay, I can't play the music because YouTube will get me for that. But yeah, apparently it turned into a hot dog. I don't know if this is AI. Yeah. So there you go. Turning into a hot dog. Hello, $65,000 worth of hot dogs, Obama. 1 hour, 17 minutes, 47 seconds. Done on purpose, yeah. Anyway, I've never seen that one before. Interesting. I thought I'd seen it all. Okay, Rosita Diaz said, reaching out to the Melton community in Victoria. Does anyone recognise this bloke? He has entered a home of a mum who was alone with her 2 little boys last night on the 25th of August, 9 p.m. on Scott Street, shoved her young boy around and has terrified the absolute life out of them to the point they have fled their home. Melton police couldn't care less. He's clearly had something in his pocket, hoping someone can help find this not-so-gentle man. If anyone knows or has seen this man, please contact who are we contacting? Contact Rosetta Diaz on X, I don't know. Or maybe the Victorian Police or Melton Radio or Melton Community Hub, I don't know. Contact someone, okay? Peppy Deluxe said, it seems like the baddies know their time is up. I worry about what they might do that we don't know about. They are most dangerous when they're cornered and know they're about to lose. I feel like we're about at the end of this. I felt that way before the 2020 election too, though, so I don't pretend to know how this ends. It just feels precipice. Anyone else? Yeah, apparently Flock could find them out to lunch, yeah. Okay, Lozzie B says, congratulations, Katie. A rational, logical, common sense woman has won Miss Universe Australia, finally. Katie was asked, should biological men be in women's sports? Katie responded by saying that she believes in biology and common sense and men do not belong in women's sports. She was the best spoken, most intelligent, most authentic, and she has class. Coincidentally, the most attractive. A win for common sense women. Yay, we finally got a beauty. She's beautiful. She's so beautiful. She's a redhead too. Is she? Is she really a redhead? I don't know. She could be. But she's beautiful. Yeah, she won Miss Universe Australia. Finally, we get some decent, not a guy dressed as a woman. Salty Goat said, infuriatingly true. White liberal women in 2026. Oh, yeah, they'd be hugging this guy and, yeah, she'd be left on her own. Yes, Lindsay Clancy. Just look at Lindsay Clancy case. Liberal women in 2026. Do you know what they're doing now? Do you want to know what they're doing now? They're getting on video with their own babies saying, I'm Lindsay Clancy, or, you know, this, like they're sympathising with her because they feel the same way with their tired of the being a mum and all this stuff. And even women are pouring water over their sons' heads, babies, mind you, right? And women are doing all sorts of really weird things, man. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a copycat from this Lindsay Clancy BS. Yeah, Shannon, Ranger or Fanta pants. That's what we call redheads here. Or you call them blue. I got called blue. I have red hair. I got called blue a lot. You can get called red, you can get called blue, get called Ranger or Fanta pants. Yep, any one of those. Okay, here we go. Here's Australia for you. No more gulags said Burke has decided that a Zambian sex offender with 100-plus convictions, including the rape of a 3-year-old boy, is not to be deported because hardship he could face returning to Zambia. Fuck off, you idiot. Our children deserve better than a minister who prioritises child abusers over public safety. But that's what we have. Oh, Planet of Memes. This is guys trying to find a wife in 2026. Wife material. Won't kill the kids and doesn't have a penis. This is because of the Lindsay Clancy case. Look, I recommend all young men who are looking to have children, or any men who are looking to have children, who want to find a woman to have those children with, just ask her what she thinks of the Lindsay Clancy case. Does she think she's innocent or guilty? That should immediately tell you all you need to know. And make sure they don't have a penis as well, by the way. Okay, and yeah. I'm pretty sure, did I read this one? I'm sure I read this. No, I haven't. Nick Shirley said in Los Angeles, it's been proposed to have government-funded sex and masturbation clinics for the homeless. I think they're money laundering. They want money for it, obviously, right? They want government-funded. I think this is money laundering. But hey, this means equality. This means private sexual relief through masturbation. Only in California could this happen. That is insane. I think it's money laundering, to be honest. Okay, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Far-left extremists, their fronts and their enablers should be on notice. We will bring the full weight of our economic tools to bear. Political terrorism has no place in our society, and we will continue to cut the financial lifelines of these groups until they're eliminated. The Treasury Department said, today Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control took action to counter the growing threat posed by violent far-left terrorist groups, globally networked and politically motivated terrorists, particularly far-left terrorists, are increasingly embracing organised deadly violence in the pursuit of their objectives. And we see that over and over again. Charlie Kirk, Donald Trump assassination attempts, you know. Rep. Anna Paulina Luna said, if you're getting paid by a foreign government to spread foreign propaganda on their behalf, we all deserve to know. My new bill, the Foreign Propaganda Disclosure Act, amends FARA and demands transparency and disclosure for anyone taking foreign money from any country, especially influencers and digital creators. I want to see this. I want to see this. That you have to disclose if you're getting paid by any foreign anything, taking money from any country. By the way, I'm not paid. The only way I get paid is by putting an ad here and there on YouTube, mostly at the start of the videos. I will not put mid-rolls in there, and only through viewer contributions. That's the only way I get paid. I do not get paid for this otherwise. And yeah, I'm just doing it because I'm crazy, I think. I don't know. No, because I love my country, and I love the United States, and I love the UK, and I want us all, Western countries, to stand up and wake up. Politico said Rep. Anna Paulina Luna wants to crack down on the world of foreign money flowing through America's political influencer economy. She tells our W Stakes about her bill that would require influencers to disclose when they're being paid by a foreign government to push political messaging. I really want to see this. I really want to see this. Cynthia Holt said Trump's a winner and fagger influencers are losers. And I think fagger is a false or fake America great again. Fake America great again, losers. Yep. Rep. Anna Paulina Luna also said foreign governments are paying social media influencers to push propaganda to Americans. Expose the money, expose the propaganda. I really want to see this because I think a lot of big streamers are going to get done. The Rubber Duck said, how do I know we're near the end? In 2020, Jim Brewer was the first celebrity to go full MAGA anon during the COVID lockdowns. He told everyone Q was right about everything regarding the satanic cults of elites and Hollywood celebrities. Even began basing all his comedy routines and material on it and grew a massive following because of it. Now Jim Brewer's gone full Never Trumper, fallen in line with the rest of the suicidal influencers. Buckle up, buttercup. Wall Street Ape said Democrat influencer J317_13 with nearly 400,000 followers is saying that Islam should be defended in America and white Christians are the enemy. What in the actual fork? White Christianity should be the thing that terrifies you. Really? Oh, we don't want you looking like the Handmaid's Tale, but apparently the Islamists do. Yeah. Funny that. White Christianity should be the thing that terrifies you. Talk about colonisation. Talk about that white America has done to every other race and white Christians have done to every other religion. Realise that Islam is no threat to you. I can't even. I just can't. What is wrong with these people? This Democrat influencer wants you to believe white Christians are the problem and not Islam. Here are just a few terrorist attacks committed by Muslims. The terrorist attack in Nice, France was conducted by a Muslim. The 2017 Paris attacks were Muslim. The reason they had to check our shoes in the airports because of a shoe bomber, he was Muslim. The terrorist attack in Orlando in the nightclub, he was Muslim. There was the underwear attacker, he was also a Muslim. The Westminster attack, Muslim. The Boston Marathon bombers, Muslim. The Manchester Arena bombers, Muslim. The Pan Am bombers, Muslim. The Fort Hood shooter, Muslim. The Beltway snipers, Muslims. The 2005 Bali bombings, the murder of Lee Rigby, Muslims. The US coal bombers, Muslims. The London Bridge attack, Muslims. The Madrid train bombers, Muslims. The Charlie Hebdo attacks, Muslims. The San Bernardino attacks, Muslims. 3,000 Americans dead on 9/11, Muslims. Beirut Marine bombers, Muslims. We have to mass deport Islam, and these white liberal influencers defending Islam should be forced to go and live in Islamic countries. They should. I don't even want to play this. I don't want to hear their defence of Islam. Come to Australia. Go to the UK. Tell me then Islam is great. Go on. And go and stand on the streets. Go on. I dare you. especially where they're all congregated, Islam, and tell me that Islam's not a threat. Anna Paulina Luna said DSA funded by China, Democrat Party infiltrated by China, and Act Blue pleads the fifth. Questions over fundraising platform donations. I really want to see this. I really do. Anna Paulina Luna said, posted this with a, muscle arm. Congressman Mike Lawler. No one should profit from their position in Congress. I don't trade stocks or hold digital assets, and I'm proud to have voted to ban members of Congress from trading stocks. Public service is about serving the people, not profiting from the office we hold. Yeehaw. Hang on, where'd that go? Where'd it go? Oh, down there. Well done. Anna Paulina Luna said the Democrat has been infiltrated by communists, backed and tied to the CCP. DSA equals colour revolution. That's the Democratic Socialists of America, okay? The DSA is the Democratic Socialists of America. If you vote for them, you need your head read. I've got a bridge to sell you, by the way. Anna Paulina Luna said, okay, hear me out. I want one. I'd like one of these, actually. But I don't know about the electric part. I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere. Where are you going to charge your four-wheel drive up? How far will it go? I want to know. On one charge. But geez, that looks like a beast. Yeah, forgot Bondi too. Bondi here in Australia. All these people got shot. 2 Muslims. Anna Paulina Luna said we have a ton of support for this on both sides. If you take money from a foreign government and are an influencer that is partaking in politics, you will have to disclose. Thank you, Rep Van Orden, Rep Gonzalez, Jared E. Moskowitz, Mike Haradopoulos, and others for supporting this common sense legislation. Politico Rep Anna Paulina Luna wants to crack down the world of foreign money flowing through America's political influencer economy. There you go. I hope it goes. I hope she gets it. I really do. Yep, selling out to foreign countries, because I think you're going to find a lot of big influencers who are foreign funded. Anna Paulina Luna also shared that you can tell I went on Anna Paulina Luna's X page. Ricky Doolan said, children in Iraq praying to Jesus Christ. God bless them. Let's have a listen. I can't understand a word of it, but if you say so, mate, I hope so. They're praying to Jesus. Well, actually, they are, because they haven't got their hijabs on. So they're not praying to Allah without their hijabs on, so it must be Jesus. Anna Paulina Luna said the war needs to end, ignore the bots. Rapid Response said POTUS on CIA director's visit to Russia. He's there on very sort of semi-routine business. I hate to disappoint people. Okay? That's what Trump's saying. Okay, Anna Paulina Luna said a Chinese spy trained as a sniper bought a historic building overlooking the White House. I wonder why. As I've said before, China is responsible for the infighting and divide as well as misinformation we're seeing online. Oh, are they the ones paying people like, I don't know if Stu Peters is part of it, but hey, Candace Owens. There's a few of them I'd like to know. I'd really love to know. I really would. Okay, Michael Lucci said CCP Intel official, Philip Quee, who trained as a sniper, bought a historic building overlooking the White House. China is surrounding our military bases and key assets. Now they're a stone's throw from the president and his senior team. Wow. Yeah, it must happen. Look, I'm
talk crap about
this.
me. Anna Paulina Luna is really, really, really going after legislation that will force and require influencers, i.e. yours truly, to disclose foreign payments. Freaking bring it on. I am so ready for this. Like, I want it to become law and mandate all of us to have to report anything. I say bring it on, because here's what I can promise you.
Yep.
Graham Allen will still be doing a show the very next day, while there's going to be a lot of people that are a lot bigger than me that all of a sudden will disappear. And it's funny to me, again, that on the heels of all of this, now all of a sudden we've got people that have been infighting with us for months. Now all of a sudden these people want an olive branch. These people want to be like, hey, we need to focus on what really matters, which is taking on the globalists. Okay.
Oh, Alex Jones, yes.
Well, why haven't we been doing that the entire time? I'm excited. I welcome it. I hope that the GOP, I hope the House bipartisan passes this bill. You've got me on tape. What is today? Today is August 25th, 2026. You got me on tape saying I support it 100%.
100%.
I can't wait to find out who's getting money from foreign entities. Hey.
Who's the guy in the background? I don't know. It's probably someone like me just commenting on it going, yeah. Jay said, TikTok has removed Spencer Pratt's epic video that torched social media influencers and demonic people like Candace Owens for manipulating real events for their own game. TikTok is an absolute joke. They've learnt nothing. Yeah, a lot of people are manipulating a lot of stuff for their own gain. Now I'm back to the beginning. Yes, okay. And I also wanted to let you know, the reason I say some conspiracies are bullshit, right, because I'm a conspiracy theorist, right, but I think that we have some conspiracies that we probably believe that are absolute BS, because look at the Lindsay Clancy case right now. Some conspiracies come from the left, okay? Now, look at the Lindsay Clancy case, and they are actually blaming the husband who wasn't even there, right? He did it. The stars align. She's a Leo, and Leos can't kill people, and he's a Gemini, so he must have done it. Just be careful what you believe, okay? I'm serious, because some conspiracies are going to turn out to be absolute BS. Not all of them, but mainly the ones that come from the left. And believe me, they do make up their own. Sorry, just drinking water so I don't cough too much. Okay, so let's go to the chat. How far back can we go? Oh, pretty far. This is as far as I can get. Renee said, Carney thinks he's a tough guy, but apparently stupid and doesn't know the art of the deal by our great President Trump. Yep. And Musk is here. Jake said, popcorn time. They're hanging on there with their fingertips. Yes, I believe they are. Yep, menacing in the house. Sal said, raise a cheer for Mr. Spear. Renee said, heard there was an explosion near Wembley Stadium and Obama in London. Shadow president, not for long. Yep, and also Ilhan Omar is being, I think she had her house raided. Yeah. I think she's going to be sent back to where she came from. Shannon said, do something foul from your Zal pal. Nice one. Shannon's trying to rhyme over here. Everyone's saying hello. Hey, Keith, how you going? I missed you in there. Chooks have started laying again, Shannon. Yeah, that's because spring's coming. Spring's already sprung here. It's not even the end of winter yet, but hey, we're getting spring. Or weather anyway. The flowers are starting to bloom. Here we go. Out to lunch, so there's a 1-bedroom and a living room building next door going for $1,000 a month. Former hairdresser shop with 10 by 8 tanning room with a 1 bathroom. And mow your own – 1/2 acre? Really? Should apply for it. No, I'm kidding. I have to apply for a visa first. They're stopping all them, aren't they, at the moment? Menacing said, how are you doing? Can't believe it's Friday again. Renee said, I have about 40 on my property right now as we speak. 40 Donald Ducks. Nice one, Renee. Zal said, Saturday over here, Muskie, just waiting for the coming shift. Yeah. Out to lunch said, geese like shiny objects like gold in rivers. I've been told to look in the stomach for gold. We don't have many around here. Oh, really? And Sherry, you're late making fried green tomatoes for dinner. Ooh, nice. Menacing said, so now we have Donald Ducks and Carney Coots. And the Lake of America. Zal said, doesn't matter what I eat, Shannon, it's always chicken. Starchild, how you going? Spain Institute finally said the people can take back Ceuta. The Conquistador are rising once again. Good evening, Hev, and beautiful people. Yes, definitely. Gen X is in here, and they said, don't forget to hit the like, everyone, please. It's the main thing you can do to help me out is hit the like button. Shannon said in Strait Hormuz. Oh, in the Strait of Hormuz. Yeah, should be the Strait of America now. Oh, dear. Zal said Canada Stan has TDS. So does Australia Stan, to be honest. Some people in Australia anyway. Yeah. Jake said, President Trump, we salute you. Yep. For those about to rock, we salute you. Go look up AC/DC if you don't know what I just sung. Shannon said, you mean the elite out of power in the shadow government? Shannon said, Bathhouse Barry, who just moved to the UK. Run, Barry, run. Zal said, yeah, Shannon, you know, I know, you know, I know. Yeah, we all know. Zal said, wonder if he and Big Mike will move to Bath in the UK. Shannon said, the dreaded lurgy. Yeah, that's what you call any flu or in Australia, that's the old saying was the dreaded lurgy. Menacing said, Zal, the ones in Canada Stan that are suffering from DTS may have STDs and that's affecting their brainwaves, lol. Renee said they're trying to claim measles as the next pandemic. I had measles when I was a child. It's not a pandemic. Oh, no. Are they really? Menacing said, oh, my, is that the children? Oh, my God. Sal said, can you imagine the stupid scientists on the island, just like my leftoid quackademic brother, I reckon? Yeah, I could imagine them. Probably got masks on when they're, you know, I don't know. It's they said psychologically they're being removed for the psychological part of the bird flu. I honestly don't understand how anyone believes any of that. Sal said, menacing, they all have Wetiko mind virus. Have the Karachi. Shannon said it wasn't a blunder, it was deliberate. Menacing Muskrat said the pink and purple hair bunch, too many boosters, I reckon. George said Labor are the nonce party. Yeah, they are in Australia too. Jake said Dolly Parton gave money to Moderna and had jab publicly got turbo cancer. She did actually. She gave $1 million to the Vanderbilts. For the Vanderbilt University or something. For the vaccines and was out there pushing them. Brett said, you mean the thing playing elbow? Yeah, that thing. Shannon said, don't forget the big glasses and septum rings. Oh, yeah, the oversized glasses and the septum rings. Oh, good night, Eric. God love you. Menacing said, so did Trudeau. He made a pile of dollars. What a snake. Sal said, Labor is all about DEI. Have deviants expect infants. Renee said, Dolly wanted you to get the death jab before you came into her amusement park too. Everyone's saying good night, Eric. Renee said, we would love to have you in America, Hev. Yeah, I'd love to come over. I really would. I'd love to see America. Zal said, DEI, deviants expect infants. Donald, how you going? Renee said, you're going to see a mass exodus of Amish leaving that state because they're not going to do it. Yeah, I hope so, yeah. They shouldn't be forced to. In fact, I think Trump should bring an executive order just to stop that if he hasn't already. I'm surprised he hasn't already. Zal said, g'day, Donald, crosstown traffic bad, eh, mate? Renee said, dogs are the first line of defence and when your weapons are the second. Yes. Zal said, good work to the dog and old bloke. Yeah, definitely. Like if you're getting hammered, honestly, your dog is the first one there. You won't even get, like the minute someone starts screaming at you, I think your dog would go. Shannon said, now the dog will get put down for doing its job. No, it can't be. The man attacked him first. It's all on video. Jake said, the Great Awakening. Sal said, should be our new anthem. Yes, it should, shouldn't it? Hi, Ian from across the ditch. Sal said, I bet the Red Cross are arming those illegals. Possibly. Renee said, Red Cross is one of the child traffickers of the world. J1 said, the voice of an angel, Hev. I don't think so, but hey, thank you, J1. No, I probably broke a couple of mirrors there. Windows, sorry, and mirrors. Any glass. Yeah. Singing the Australian national anthem for those of us who are a bit upset over what's going on in Australia right now. Zal said they should search their trucks. They should. Shannon said Red Cross is a deep state cover. Yes. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they were running guns and people and all sorts of stuff. Shannon said same with the UN and the EU. Jake said they all fake Hev. Sal said the religion of peace up to their usual tricks in Nigeria. Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Menacing said Red Cross is a Swiss flag in reverse. Ah. Sal said Albo is an utter pig. He is. That's our Prime Minister here in Australia. Not a very nice man at all. No. But I don't think he's running anything. I think he's got his marching orders and he's doing the work for them. Yeah, where did Deb go? I hope she still isn't sitting on the other live stream. Oh, God love her. Because she was in the other live stream. So I hope you're doing all right, Deb, if you catch this. Jake said cancer research, lol. Renee said stand up Australia, take your country back. Yeah, a lot of them have to wake up first. That's the problem. A lot of people still listen to mainstream news and think that they're telling the truth. I try to tell everyone I know, please don't listen to mainstream media. They're lying to you. Zal said, what a liar. Did they send out Albo the Clown to the meeting to do his comedy routine? Ian said, Albo's a coastie. Leslie said, the farmers are overregulated. The NDIS is underregulated and it's getting ripped off big time, the NDIS. Yes, Leslie. I agree. Renee said, look at the little goslings. That's too funny. Jake said, love it, Hev. J1 said, March for Australia, August the 30th. Oh, tomorrow? Oh, shit. Menacing said, love it, Donald Ducks and Carney Coots. Love the hairdo. Al said, Tony Burke is a woke nonce. Yes, he is. Renee said, make us insane asylums great. I think we need them. We really do. Out to lunch said, so you think those Donald Ducks were AI? Nah, I think I've seen one before. Really? Oh, they look so good. J1 said, Tony Burker. Yes, that's one of our ministers here in Australia. His name's Tony Burke, but we call him Tony Burker because he loves the Muslims, especially their votes. Yep, Menacing Muskrat. Thank you. Thumbs it up, folks. Thank you. I appreciate it. As Al said then, out to lunch to each a track release. Each attacked release should have cost him a piece of his flesh, like finger, penis or hand, maybe the foot. The next crime, maybe 2 more, third time. As Al said, yeah, there need to be consequences. Out to Lunch said murderers should be shackled face-to-face and toe-to-toe with their victims. See if you get repeat offenders. Menacing Muskrat said Day of Judgment is coming to a theatre near you very soon. Yeah, J1, Trump is the boss. Menacing said, when Hev says aluminium, I thought she was talking about spice. Roll on the floor laughing. I've come a long way. Yes, we pronounce it aluminium. Is that how you spell it too? Because we have an I in the before the U. So you call it aluminum. Maybe it's spelt differently. That's why it's said differently. Hang on a sec. Give me just 1 minute here. Aluminium. Yeah. We call it aluminium because we have an I in there. It's a silvery coloured metal that is never found on its own in nature. It's very lightweight. In fact, we use it as aluminium foil. So maybe it's because the spelling's different that you pronounce it different. Is that why? I had to check that then. Where were we up to? Jake said death penalty need to be reinstated. Start with the elites, then work down. Yeah. Menacing Muskrat, and don't forget the papaya fruit tested positive too. Out to Lunch, traders and government officers should have their former chair reupholstered with their skin so the next person commanding that chair will know what we do to traders. I think just capital punishment would be enough for people to understand what you're going to do to traders if, you know. Yeah. Leslie said the father gets the free turn, not the prisoners. J1 said one flew over the cuckoo's nest. Zal said they persecute the father but let off the rapist for his deed, eh? Oh, they probably have. They probably have. Honestly, that's how Australia works, so I don't know, probably. Zal said there are cabal placeholders embedded in every facet of your life, folks. And Tim Eyre was here. PCRs were designed for lab use only in isolated negative pressure environments due to their high sensitivity and possibility of false positives. There you go, from a doctor. Okay? They're designed for being in negative pressure environments due to their high sensitivity, and they're supposed to be isolated, only used in the lab. Sal said that absolute BS about a glacier causing that flood in Nepal. It was a major dam that was bombed. China, well, you remember China's, 5 dams or something? They had dams all over the place that were failing. Sal said that's why they bumped off the inventor of the PCR when he spoke out about it, Timmy. Yeah, exactly. And Fix It Fast, here you go. Carrie Mullis, inventor of the PCR test, and was murdered, said Menacing Muskrat. Yep. Sal said Dolly was a child procurer, trafficker, and blood ritual partaker. Sal said no vaccine is good. Yeah, Fix It Fast is saying, do you have any evidence to back the claim that Dolly was a child procurer, a trafficker, and blood ritual partner? Menacing said Dolly kicked the bucket a long time ago for her antics, just saying. J1 said abomination. You can agree to disagree with people too, guys. Honestly, just agree to disagree if you can't, if you come to a, you know, if you're going to argue. I'd just agree to disagree. I'd rather not argue with people. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. But yeah, I would just agree to disagree. Zal said, yes, Menacing, all we were seeing was an actor. Dave said, hi from Oregon, USA. Haven't caught a live stream in a while. Left a like and comment on your Rumble also. Thank you very much, Dave. I appreciate that. I get it. Fix It Fast. I do understand. Yeah, I understand. Out to lunch said psychological meds in the woman would make any confession in court. It is not prosecutable. I don't know what you mean by that. Out to lunch. Shanna said, "G'day, Timmy. How's the new TBR?" Sal said, "When you ask a question like that, you haven't been following, understanding the signs." Well, Sal, I don't know about, Dolly. I don't know. I haven't heard it either. So just agree to disagree. It's the best thing. Yeah, the butterfly on the front gate of a property is a monarch symbol. Yes, it is. And Taylor Swift's, she did make a comment about Taylor Swift's firstborn. She wanted it. Dolly Parton did. Out to lunch said, "Dave, yeah, Dave. Dave's not here. Hi, Dave." Yeah, we all make, have a laugh. You know that, what is it, Cheech and Chong? Dave's not here, man. Jake said nothing is real. Shannon said Swifty witch. Out to lunch said Zal Pardon was a witch. No way a country millionaire could be one. Yeah, fix it fast. We're just going to have to wait and see. The truth will come out in the end either way, one way or the other. So whether yes or no, I believe the truth's going to come out in the end anyway. Menacing said hi, witch, along with Oprah, Marina, Taylor and Queen Bee. Sal said, "You'll find the country music industry is one of the biggest covers for drug running, trafficking of people and all types of Luciferian behaviours. There are plenty of places where you can find this." Shanna said, "What about Betty White?" Out to lunch said, "Swifty Swift is a bonehead trucker gone, quote, talking about Swift Trucking Company, bad drivers, and they do a 4-wheel Friday." Yep, asking for a link. Menacing said, Betty White is in Barbara Bush's sister, Shannon. I've never heard that one, Menacing. Shannon said, Betty, Alistair Crowley's son, and his brother was Barbara Bush. Sal said, how about looking at the book Transformation of America by Kathy O'Brien? Yep. Zal said, yes, Shannon, some cross-pollination going on there for sure. Out to lunch said, Flock could find him. Shannon said, the deeper you go, the weirder it gets. Yes. Zal said, I think it's spelled Transformation of America as in trance, like you're in a trance. Menacing said, many will fall in the fall. Fix It Fast said, Kathy O'Brien, born December 4th, is an American author who claims to have been a victim of government mind control program called Project Monarch. Yes, with the monarch butterfly, yeah. Out to lunch said, say he is the guy cutting flock cameras down. Sal said, not far away, Muskie. Fix It Fast said, this will be a good start for me, thanks. There you go, see? Shannon's saying, Ranger. Out to lunch said, seen a flock knocked down last night on the way to the store. I think it was a state mowers, though. Oh, dear. Shannon said, Ranger or Fanta Pants? Shannon said, F you autocorrect. Yes, I know. Sal said, fix it. And Project Monarch is usually symbolised by a butterfly. Just FYI, Dolly had a large butterfly in her gates of her property. You will know them by their symbolism will be their downfall. That's what's going to happen. Symbolism is going to be their downfall because they do use symbolism a lot. Out to lunch said, could deaths be linked to 17? You never know. You never know. Maybe, like people say, oh, they've already gone. Maybe that, yeah. Menacing said 2026 fall, whence that's why the ballroom is being built in front of the White House. Zal, go easy. Please don't use Wikipedia to discredit. No, they're not discrediting your information, Zal, at all. Out to lunch said, any on the island or files? Leslie said they only want you to believing in their science. Fix It Fast said, I'm very up on Project Monarch and MK Ultra and the Monarch and other programs CIA run. Very good. Shannon said, or if men should be able to play in the WNBA. Sal said, that's only the tip of one iceberg. Yeah, look, it's deep. It just keeps going and going. You could keep digging and digging and find more and more. Out to lunch said, could she claim late-term abortion? Oh, probably these days. It depends on where she is. Is she in Massachusetts? I think they allow up to birth. But, hey, this was after birth, like 8 months after birth, man. Seriously. And I had postpartum depression, right? For about a few months, about 4 to 5 months, because I didn't even know I had it, right? And I went to hospital one day thinking I was having a heart attack and I couldn't breathe, right? And the minute I walked into emergency and they said, you're having an anxiety attack, I went, thank you, see you later. I honestly thought I was having a heart attack. No, I was having an anxiety attack, right? It feels like a heart attack, right? And as soon as they told me, I was so embarrassed that I went home. I didn't wait in emergency. They were trying to get me to wait to see someone. And I just said, thank you, bye. I'm just so my head down, so embarrassed. Anyway, I ended up getting help from a psychologist, just talking to a psychologist. And then what do you know? It's gone. And I was seeing that psychologist for a good while. So when I fell pregnant with my next one, I did not get postpartum depression after that. Yeah, so there you go. Okay? I was just so embarrassed when I was told it was anxiety. I'm like, oh, my God, I thought I was having a heart attack. I'm out of the emergency room. I don't need to be here. It's just anxiety, okay? I don't need to be here. I'm not having a heart attack. That's why I went to emergency. I thought I was having a heart attack, So there's no excuse anyway, because it doesn't, I would rather have killed myself when I had postpartum depression than my babies. I would have killed myself before I touched one of my babies, okay? Fix It Fast said, yes, Sal, I'm aware of the mass control, these deep creeps that take our children for their evil deeds. Yep. Sal, well, I don't know if Dolly Parton, you think it's a man? I don't know. I don't know either, Sal. Not to mention the adrenochrome harvesting, Sal. Yes, Fix It Fast. Oh, yep. Sal said another tip of another iceberg. Yeah, there's heaps of icebergs. Menacing Muskrat said mind control is also done in the womb, these effers. Oh, no. Paul said Abby Chatfield next. Oh, yeah. Love to see who she's being paid by the way. Out to lunch said if everyone had premium on YouTube, Hev could put 80 ads since we don't see ads, would she get paid for 80 ads per person? I don't know. And I really don't want to fill my, I'll put one at the beginning, but I don't want any in the middle of it because they used to always put it right when you're in the middle of a sentence. I used to be listening to people when I didn't have premium, right? And right in the middle of a sentence, they'd cut to an ad. And by the time that ad was over, because some of them were unskippable, I've forgotten what the hell the person was talking about. So I'm not going to do that to anyone. I'm not going to put ads in mid-roll ads. I'm just going to put one at the beginning, and that's it. I'm not greedy. So I said they also alter the sex of the fetus in the womb. How do they do that? Fix It Fast said, Zal, I'm 70-year-old now and I've known these things for many years. 1969 is when I found the MK and the Montauk kids. Oh, wow. Zal told Paul that he would kick that thing in the nether regions. Oh, you mean Abby Chatfield? Shannon said, Hollywood is full of Baphomets. Hollywood's an evil place, just period, Yeah, George, Islam is a big threat. Yeah, there are many, many icebergs out there, Zal, I know. Dave said Vlad the Impaler had it right. Yeah, I heard that. I heard something about Vlad the Impaler the other day. Yeah. Menacing said Albert Pike's letter 1871 has come to pass. Sal said, agreed, Dave, they only understand violence, so what goes around comes around for them. Out to lunch said, so Omar gone yet? No, not yet. She's being investigated. Her house has been raided, apparently. I think she will be deported. She committed fraud on the application. How can she not be? That in itself, that alone would make me, if I was in charge, right? Lying on your papers, straight out of here, out of here. Shannon said, Pike realised too late he made a big mistake. J1 said, forgot Bondi. Yep. Menacing said, looks like my Jeep have. Oh, I love big Jeep. I want a four-wheel drive. I want a big one. I don't know if I could drive the thing, but hey, you know, I want one. I'd have to just, you know, go around the country and practice driving in it. Jake said, rape and murder, that's all I see in the name of religion, and it's just ignored. Yeah, exactly, Jake. Out to lunch said, the guy that got stabbed in England, I don't think you have one. Dave said, career master mechanic here, electric and hybrid cars are the dirtiest vehicles on earth. There you go. Sal said, almost as good as my FJ Cruiser have. Yeah, I'll take one that's like not electric. Yeah. I just know those things, they're not easy to break, okay? That's one good thing. Out to lunch said, where is the Spanish Inquisition when you need one? Shannon said, infidels. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition, lol. Menacing said, lithium batteries cannot be put out once ignited. Shannon said, thermal, run away. Deb made it. Oh, God love you, Deb. Oh, I'm so sorry. I had another video scheduled for this morning and I couldn't get into it. It kept just making me a new video. God love you. Dave said, yep, the dealership across from mine burned to the ground 2 years ago. It was a Hummer battery. A week later, another EV caught fire in the lot and destroyed 11 more cars. There you go. Shannon said, because on his death's bed, he said he made a terrible mistake. Oh, Pike did? Did he? Oh, no, Deb doesn't have to pay a late fee. It's okay. Nobody has to pay a late fee. But hey, if you want to, you know, that's perfectly fine too, but you don't have to. And never make yourself broke. Please never do it if you can't afford it. Out to lunch said hello to Dave. George said a lot of people should be in prison. Deb said, is fake in on purpose? Sal said a lot of these people aren't even real people, George. Where did that go? Where'd it go? Holy shit. Where was I up to? It jumps really, like it just, the chat jumps and then it's so, I realise how far back I am. Oh, my goodness. Okay, here's somewhere. Menacing said, do your own research and use discernment. George says, whoever they are, Zal, they belong in prison. Zal said, not human, mate. J1 said, more distractions. Shannon said, trying, I was successful. Out to lunch said, one lady claims a friend is an accomplice and he's considering a suit against her, lol. Muskrat said, a poet and don't know it. Shannon said, yeah, you know it. Sal said, never fear, our Mr. Spear will endear himself to his peers as he makes it clear his comedic position is held in revere. Shannon said, Mohap, Michelle Obama has a P. Muskrat said, if we had a party, Shannon would have us all rolling on the floor laughing. He would. George said, my mum's dog was put down to, oh, no. Shannon said, that's what Harumba thought. Out to lunch said, Debbie, you here? Menacing said, sorry to hear that, George, our fur baby family. Yeah. It's always sad when you lose a fur baby. Out to lunch said, did you have to do it, George? Shannon said, she was here a couple of minutes ago. Maybe she got the munchies and needed a coffee. George said, yeah, out to lunch she had blood cancer. The vet could do nothing. Oh, no, that's terrible. Oh, the poor things. I'm going to blame vaccines for a lot. Oh, God love you, Deb.
Active Richardson 7,772 donated $2 through Super Chat. Hello T Hev's pussies, kissing face emoji, Deb's late fee.
Yes, my cats. God love you, Deb. Thank you so much. You're a legend, mate. Oh.
Timar 28 donated $50. Apologies to everyone who's messaged me. I've dropped the ball. I was upside down in a research rabbit hole a good portion of the summer, and handling some business stuff and a wee bit of recreation mixed in there too.
It all ended up being work. Wow. Good on you, Timmy. Thank you so much. You're a legend, mate. Seriously. Yep. So to anyone who's messaged Timmy, he has been researching in a rabbit hole a good portion of the summer and handling business stuff as well, and a bit of recreation mixed in, okay? So just bear with him. He'll get back to you. Okay. God love you guys. Shannon said, I got an urge for some Fritz on toast. What's Fritz? Shannon said, don't vaccinate your pets as a scam. Put the same stuff in their vaccines as they do in ours. Yeah, that's what I think. Is a lot of cause of a lot of animals. Yep. And they get cancer and things like that. Shannon said the correct way to what, Shannon? Out to lunch said our Sunday in Mississippi is Donna's birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Donna. Shannon said the way they say it F's up the flow of the periodic table. Out to lunch said aluminium. Aluminum. Sorry, I'm trying to say it your way. Shannon said, happy birthday, Donna. Hope Fred gives you a good one. Oh, Shannon, I know where your mind is. Out to lunch said tuna fish to eat. What a prostate exam. What? You guys, come on. Okay, I'm not reading some of them. I think they're rude. I think they're being rude on me. They're trying to make me say rude things, guys. Shannon said they use it on porpoise, so they can make the results say whatever they need them to say. Out to lunch said if I have two, I guess I have two. If I have to, I guess I have to. Out to lunch said, give those dolphins a truth serum and get them to talking. Shannon said, oh, my God, you guys with your fish. Out to lunch said, oh, my God. I'm not reading them. Menacing said, the Three Gorges Dam, the Yangtze River, China. Oh, okay. J1 said, Dolly was a rich right up there with Oprah. Shannon said, that's as close as I could get with the hand emoji. Oh, no. What are you doing? Shannon said, and Madonna. Yeah, she's a high witch. Out to lunch said, remember the Chinese lady who spoke about China and Bitcoin mining and sea traffic and she passed away? I can't remember that one. Shannon said, Jason Alden playing at the concert when the Vegas shooting. Look at his tattoos. Oh, really? J1 said, just watched a great 2-part on Oprah. She's in the same circle with Obama. Oh, yeah, they are. Out to lunch said, so old Dolly probably snitched on someone maybe to keep her out of Gitmo. I am thinking that more that way. Shannon says symbolism will be their downfall. Out to lunch said, aren't Oprah and him related? Oh, God love you.
Active Richardson 7,772 donated $2 through Super Chat. Happy birthday, Donna. Party face emoji, birthday cake emoji, sparkles emoji, sparkling heart emoji.
Oh, God love you, Deb, you legend. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I'll be here on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. I've had to, because I've just filled in my Australian citizenship paperwork. I've got a friend who needs help. They can't do it themselves. They're hopeless with computer, okay? So I'm going to help them. This could take a couple of days because we've got to go around and get passport photos and all the information they need to try and put that forward for their citizenship. So I may not be here Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. Just letting you know beforehand. Out to lunch said, aren't Oprah and him related, are they? Shannon said, white rabbits or even leopard print. Yeah. J1 said, out to lunch wouldn't surprise anyone. Sherry said, Dolly was Kenny Rogers' handler. She belonged to the Daughters of Darkness. Really? See, I haven't heard anything about Dolly at all, really, with that. Menacing said, yes, Sherry. Shannon said, the butterfly symbolises the female pelvis. Ah. Tim S. said, the TBM is quite the experience. Don't tell Alex, but I flew into Heathrow and from there boarded a train to, where is it, Tarbes? France and White Knuckle, ferried at home with a pilot friend of mine. Oh, no, really? Shannon said, Dolly on the Johnny Carson show, part of the club. Menacing said, I'm reading a book called The Harbinger by Jonathan Kahn. Very good book. Oh, really? Shannon said, awesome sauce. Timo, don't worry about Alex. She's forsaken us. No, she's got a job. God love her. And good on her. Shannon said, Abby and Shorty McShort ass. Timo said, roll on the floor laughing my ass off, Shannon. Deb said, hello, our Dr. Timo. Menacing said, I have my Signal app. It's back up and running. I'm telling Alex, Timo, just kidding. Yeah, I only just got mine up and running, and it's going to, I don't know, I'm taking the phone back. It's AI bullshit. No, I don't want AI bullshit all over the phone. I don't know. I don't know what it's doing. It's doing some weird shit. I don't like it. Shannon said, how many tanks of fuel does it take to fly over there? Deb saying hello to Sherry and out to lunch said, is Omar a flight risk? I don't know. Deb said, that's awesome, Timmy. Oh, God love you.
Timar28 donated $25. The robot voice is a bit of an insufferable air horn when it reads out the emojis. Smiley face emoji, laughing face emoji, rolling on the floor laughing emoji, rolling on the floor emoji.
It does, doesn't it? I know. When it reads out the emojis, it's just like, come on, man. Yeah, the robot man. He's a bit weird, okay? But who isn't these days? I don't know. Thank you very much, Timmy. You're a legend. Shannon said, Timmy, next, do it with your coach. Do what? Timmy said, Deb, Shannon, menacing everyone. I've been off the radar for far too long. My apologies for not reaching back. I've been down a research rabbit holes, among other things, this summer. Oh, yeah. And me and Timmy have got to get on and talk about it. I don't know if Timmy is available tomorrow. Oh, shit, I nearly knocked over all my screens and everything. I've only got tomorrow and then I've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, possibly Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week. Timmy, I'll message you and you can let me know if you can join me. Menacing said, what did you hear about Vlad the Impaler, that he was related to Princess Charles? No, there was more about Vlad. I'm going to have to go back and see if I can find what it was. Something about the Muslims, I think, or keeping people out of his country. I don't know. Oh, God love you.
At Menacing Muskrat U9M donated $20 Canadian through Super Chat. Happy birthday, Adib Richardson 7772.
Deb, is it your birthday? Is it your birthday, Deb? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Deb. Happy birthday to you. And Donna. We'll sing that on tomorrow because tomorrow's Sunday here in Australia, so we'll sing Donna's one tomorrow. God love you. Deb said, yeah, that's probably why Charles's portrait is full of blood. Out to lunch said Prince Charles said it. Oh, shoot. Hang on. Go back. Oh, God love yous. I can hear something. No, okay. Something's buzzing somewhere. Deb said that's probably why Charlie's portrait's full of blood. Out to lunch said Prince Charles said it. Mountbatten wants to come back as a virus, said Shannon. Out to lunch said Deb, gotta go. Menacing said Charles wanted to come back as Camilla's tampon. Shannon said, but happy birthday. J1 said, Deb, you can't get more in your face than Charles' portrait. Menacing said Charlie was caught on tape saying that to Camilla. Shannon said, Camilla don't need tampons. She has childbearing shoulders. Shannon said, that's a man. Austin Powers' voice. Fix It Fast said, I think you are right, dear. And there was Deb's one. Flex, said Shannon. Deb said, we missed you, Timmy. Shannon said, fretting about in a deep, dark hole. Deb said, as long as our Timmy as well. Deb said, yes, please, Shannon. Shannon said, what's Fritz? You're an Australian. Maybe you call it Devon? Oh, yeah, Devon, yeah. Sal said, yep, I don't vax my doggy. She just turned 15 and still carries on like a lamb frolicking around the meadow every day. Oh, that's lovely. Deb said, better than Devon. Sal said, in the later years, it was an actor playing doll he. Shannon said, Donna's gone, Deb. Menacing said, J1, can you drop that link regarding Oprah and Obama? Deb said, yes, another rabbit hole with Dolly. Deb said, you don't get famous unless you're in the club. Yep. Deb said, look, book club where you can all read. Deb said, Alex is enjoying her life too much. Oh, God love her. She should be. Deb said, thank God you all figured me out now. Mrs. Out to Lunch said, hello, heaven all chat, family. I'm listening and thanks. Oh, God love you. Was that the second one? Was there another one beforehand that I didn't heart? That one I hearted. That one I've hearted. Okay, and then this one, God love you. God love you, Donna. Happy birthday, Donna. Mrs. Out to Lunch said, thanks for all the birthday wishes. When you get older, it's just another day. Don't get... Oh, God love you.
Active Richardson 7,772 donated $2 through Super Chat. Just Donna birthday Donna, party face emoji, sparkles emoji, starstruck emoji, sparkles emoji,
he's going to get tired in a minute.
Emoji,
hopefully. Yep, he got tired. See? There you go. Oh, God love you, Deb. So it's not your birthday, Deb. It's just Donna's birthday. Oh, God love you. Yeah, it's just another day. Don't get me wrong. Proud to see another happy birthday, Deb. Oh, God love you. God love yous all. Deb said, I'm on the 28th of September. I'll be 60. Oh, wow. Menacing said, oops, Deb, my birthday was on the 20th. Happy birthday, Menacing. Yep, there you go. God love you. You're a legend, you guys. And is that the last one? Yep, that looks like the last comment. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there for today. I'm doing some babysitting today and tonight. I will be back tomorrow. Yeah, happy birthday for the 24th. Menacing, God love you. You're a legend too. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm babysitting today and tonight. And, yeah, and then I'll have Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday off and then I'll be back, okay? Okay, much love, guys. Hope to see you the same time tomorrow. Much love. Bye.